Okay, I'll stop this training just for a minute. My name's Jay Devon and I want to share plenty of things to help everyone to be happier on the court. All right, today's video is why not win? So, an interesting thing that I've been discussing with a lot of people is these guys, amazing champion, superstar, legends, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, they just keep winning and winning and winning and winning. It's like 22 Grand Slams, 21 and 20, that's 63 Grand Slam singles title amongst only 3 players. Out of all these years. I think something that I saw was out of 76 or something recently, 63 out of 76. So that means almost basically no one's ever winning anything. And Nadal has become the first person ever to win Grand Slams in 3 separate decades. 3 separate decades. All right, so the thing that I'm going to talk about is why not win? So if you see people who are winning quite often, then to me, doesn't that mean that they should be having the most difficulty in to continue to win? If you see a lot of other sports where you see a dominant player or a dominant team, then everybody goes to the videotape and they try to study and work out, why are these people winning? What do they do to win? Where are they weak? How can you expose weakness? How can you do this, do that? But come up with something. I think the biggest problem is that there's been a very, much from the start when Federer started coming out and started to, get it all his own way, and then of course Djokovic and Nadal join in, is that there's a common perception that these people are just too good. But if you look at tennis and you see at the end of the matches, there's normally always not a lot of difference in the points. So you can see matches where players win 43% or 45% of the total points played, and they win the match, and the other person's won more percentage of the points. Even up to 48, 49, whatever. And then a lot of times the winning player is just getting 51, 52, the low 50s, or even 55, 56, but that's not a lot. That's not too good. Okay, this means there's a small differential, and the idea is that people should be studying the game and looking at, what is the way that we can just switch a couple of these scenarios where the points go so that percentage can just switch around a little bit, and look at it from that part. I really feel from watching the matches for a lot of years now that a lot of the times the players go out thinking, I don't really think I can beat these people, or I wish I could, or I hope I can, or a bit maybe I can. But as soon as the game gets along and it starts not going their way, that then they're convinced very quickly otherwise. But it's not as one-sided and as clear-cut as that is. So in terms of what I'm saying is these people should find it a lot harder to win, is because who is there more videotape of winning and playing for people to analyze and study and to show patterns and consistent plays and positions of the court, ways they're trying to structure the point to get it, things they're doing to close out points, or things they're doing to draw you into a trap and draw you into a mistake. There's no more footage of anyone than the people who win the most. And because these 3 guys have been winning so much, that means there's endless amount of hours, way more hours than any other people you could possibly get to study their matches. Okay, so when you think of it, that the humans are creatures of habit, that means these players are repeating again and again the same type of things that is successful and making them win. And why wouldn't you? That's what you would do too, right? If you had a combination that you did and you felt, when I do this move and that move and I put the point structure together like that I win at least 3 out of every 4 points. Okay, so that is 75%. Most of the matches, like I was saying before, it's something 40, 40, 50, 50, 50s, this type of percentages. So if you've got something where you feel that you're winning even only 2 out of 3 times, 66, that's really high on that normal differential. The only times when in a match they're going to see at the end of the match where the statistics show that somebody's winning 60 or more percentage of the points is going to be a very one-sided game. But most of these matches are not like that, especially in the later rounds where the quarterfinals, semi-finals and finals are, and the players are playing a lot better after having earlier matches to get through and get their game into and feel their rhythm and timing. So it really is there for me to be looking at people, hey, why can these people be winning so much? You must be going out with the concept in your mind that they can definitely be beaten. They're only a human. They're normally only just getting a few more points. Like I think from the top of my head, I can put it down below later and go and research it. But from the top of my head, I think there was something only like 9 points or 8 points difference in how many points did Djokovic win in the Wimbledon final against Berrettini, more than that Berrettini got. But then it was a 4-set match, and everybody was talking about it as if Djokovic was never going to lose. It was very one-sided. He was going to win all the way through. And 9 points is not really a lot of difference. You know, if he's able to pick on, for example, one major thing where Djokovic is doing and getting a lot of the points from, and work out how to switch that around, which of course you need to be doing this before your match starts and doing all your research and study, and then going out and practicing it deliberately on the court so that you can make sure you can execute it under pressure in a match. But you should have these things going and go out there and be able to do it. You know, one of the easy really ways for everyone to get a lot better, and in terms of the players to be able to beat somebody that they've had a lot of problems with, or these type of top players, is you have to look at, hey, you know, when I'm playing, where is it that I'm losing the most amount of points from? You know, where is it that the other person is winning the greatest number of points from? Where can I see a pattern and a similarity of what's happening during the match? And then if I'm in this scenario where I'm doing this and I'm losing nearly all the time, then I've got to work out a different way of doing that and get someone to tell me to do that, okay? So a really simple one would be that, for example, is when the players are playing and you have, you know, Djokovic, and he's positioned over to this side here because he's a right-hander and he's on the backhand side already, okay? He's there, so he doesn't have to do a lot of movement, and he has a very short compact swing on his backhand. He's super reliable on his backhand. He hardly misses a ball over there. Is when he's there, you shouldn't be running around your backhand, opening up your own side of the court, doing a massive jump in the air and trying to smash the ball with as much power and spin as you can, when he's waiting for it and he's just going to use your power and push it through. I mean, you can have a look at the 2019 Wimbledon final and see that even if you're as good as Federer and you do this, you can watch the match. I stopped counting it at 10, but when that was happening is that Djokovic was at the baseline, he was on his backhand corner already waiting, so he didn't have to run there. Federer was running around backhands, jumping in the air and hitting the ball really hard and then trying to do approach shots at net. And then Djokovic was just doing a short little block through the power there. Very low risk, very high control. And Federer was trying to get up to the net and cover, and he was just getting beaten. No matter how hard Federer's shot was and how amazing and brilliant it looks with all the big running around and jumping and full power, he was just feeding into Djokovic's strongest point, just the rebound wall of the backhand. So it doesn't matter, even if you're Federer and you do that, it's not going to work out. So the trick is to be able to look at these type of things and switch it around, because that is one of the Super League closest statistical matches ever, and most of the statistics in that Wimbledon final in 2019 actually all favoured to Federer, but he still lost the match. So that would be one of the hugest bleeding points for him, would be that he was doing this movement and this trying to get a point in a scenario where that he was just not getting anything at all. You know, Djokovic was able to just push it up the line or across, and Federer was trying to run in and cover net from so far back and landing that he was having no chance at all. It would be really nice if there was no such thing as copyright, so then I could just get these few points and just show them to you now and put them in. But unfortunately, this is copyright world, so I can't do that. But the whole thing is trying to identify these type of things that you're playing, that you're strong at, and what you're weak at, where you're losing, where you're winning, and doing that. So for me, I feel that when I'm watching these people like Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal, I'm really interested to see how people are doing all these things, and that's part of the interest as a coach and a strategist, is how are people winning points, who's doing what to whom and when, what's really successful, what do they try to do under pressure, and how does all that pan out, what's really reliable, what's not. So for me, when I'm looking at that, I'm looking at it as if like I'm coaching against them or I'm playing against them, both of those things, and looking at, hey, the players should be doing this, because even though these people are so amazing in terms of how much they've won, it still is possible to beat everyone, because they don't get to play. No matter how many times they've beaten you or how many things they've won, when they come out on the court, they don't get to be 30-love up every game. They don't get to start with 2 or 3 games every set because what they did before. They need to do it again today. It all starts from zero. So you have an equal chance every time that you play them. You just have to work out what is it that you're going to do. So when you're playing all these type of points and you're watching the things there, I'm always saying is, hey, look, how can these people keep winning? It doesn't happen in other sports. So for me, I think I'm going to have a look at it in another video too, is a very, very specific example, is there's a lot of things going on that people just aren't taking notice of, and there's a lot of presumption that these people are too good. And yes, they are amazing, but the thing is, when you're playing, is you at least have to be making sure that you're getting them to do all the things that they're least good at or they're most uncomfortable doing, and you're trying to starve them off the things that they love to do that makes them feel confident. And if you do that, and these guys are still so amazing and you still win, then that's fine because you're trying to do the right strategy and do the right thing. But when I'm watching all the games, I'm not seeing this at all. Anyways, I'm going to put a really specific one on that goes along to tag with this. Enjoy your sport, but make sure you start using your brains, and why not win?